Munster produced an immense defensive effort to contain Ospreys. My name's Mark, let's talk rugby. Munster started this one really well. They have a scrum in a decent position. They attack off the back of that. They get Haley into space on the edge, and he has the pace then to beat Cuthbert into the corner and finish. Carberry adds the extras for 7-0, and we only had a few minutes on the clock. Then Ospreys are coming forward. They're looking to respond quickly, but it's Munster who go over again a few minutes later. O'Brien picks off, a fairly readable pass out wide. He shows decent pace, but he is getting hunted down by Giles. Fends him though and goes over into the corner. Carberry misses the conversion and it's 12-0. Ospreys scrum though, it's going well for them, and it feels like that could be one of their routes back into the game. And up until maybe the last 10 or 15 minutes when Munster seemed to reverse that, Ospreys were on top pretty much in the scrum for most of the game. I think Munster did get parity though with about 25 minutes to go, but in the last 10 minutes it switched the other way. But for most of the game, Ospreys definitely on top, putting huge pressure on that Munster scrum. They then have a period of pressure in possession as well, close to that Munster line. They're going backwards though. Then Owen Williams offloads to Parry. Parry can't hold it, but in fairness, Williams' offload wasn't very sympathetic. I think it actually hit him in the face. But it's all Ospreys, so of course it's Munster who score again. Sean O'Brien with another intercept. He puts a grubber in then. The grubber kind of flirts with the touchline through half a dozen bounces. He then kind of shins it forward over the try line. There's a few Ospreys in there. It hits one of them and stays in play, and then he finally dives on it to score. So it was pinball, but it was like Sean O'Brien was the only one who knew where the ball was at times. Carberry adds the extras from out wide, and it's 19-0 to Munster. Munster then again under immense pressure in the scrum. They've got a 5-metre defensive scrum. Looks like Ospreys are just going to drive them off the ball, but somehow they manage to scramble the ball out and get it clear. But they're having a lot of defending to do, but they're looking comfortable at times. I say Hodnett is putting in a massive shift as well there defensively for them. But, the amount of ball the Ospreys have, Munster, haven't looked that stretched, honestly, in defence for most of the game. We then have Wycherley gets pinged for not rolling away. Ospreys take that penalty and they go to the corner. They then lose Nick Smith to a rib injury, or Nicky Smith, is it? But he did a rib injury anyway. And he picked it up about 5 minutes before, around the time that Munster just about got that ball out of that scrum. But he's off, so hopefully, he's not out for too long and we see him back on the pitch soon. Tipuric then claims a line out and Ospreys spread the ball. We have, they seem to be going backwards, but they finally find, an angle that actually works for them. They suck in some of that Munster defence, then boss off with just a magic offload. Kieran Williams then, nice catch pass from him, and finally they get some space out wide and Giles goes over in the corner to score. Conversion hits the post and it's 19-5. At this stage, Munster then finally produced something going forward. It's been such a long time for them. As we near the break, they force a number of penalty advantage. Tipuric gets a yellow card as well. Munster, they then go close after a lovely offload from Snyman, but Rhys Davis gets over that ball and wins a penalty. Half-time 19-5. Into the second half then, even with 14 men, Ospreys continue to dominate territory and position at the start of the half, but they're not making any clear-cut chances. And the good thing for them though is that they do see out that yellow card period without conceding. But in fairness, Munster didn't look like scoring at all in that period. Ospreys then get a penalty for Munster not rolling away, and they go to the corner. Munster initially hold up the maul, but then the backs pile in and over it goes. Sam Parry is the scorer. Williams converts and it's 19-12. Ospreys back to within a score and looking like they have all the momentum, but then that seems to actually wake Munster up and they come forward again. Sneeman and Hodnett carrying well for them, a few others in there as well, and then Sneeman kind of rides a tackle and uses his huge frame to stretch out and score the bonus point try. Carberry misses the conversion. I didn't actually see what happened with it because I was checking something else, but it looked like I'd given it to him because I assumed he was going to convert it, but he misses it, so it's 24-12 to Munster at that stage. But a few minutes later then he makes amends. He lands a penalty to make it 27-12, give Munster a bit of breathing room. And they kind of needed it as well towards the end because Ospreys again come back. This time it's off another line at maul. Tipperick with a lovely pass to Morgan Morris, but he can't hold it under pressure from Kendallin, and Munster are able to clear. But that was a clear threat to that Munster line. They were, right in the shadow of the posts at that stage. Then Ruben Morgan Williams makes a nice break, but he gets absolutely smashed by Mike Haley, making his 100th appearance for Munster. But you can see the threat from Ospreys is growing at this stage. They then have penalty advantage to go to the corner. Munster's defence though drives them out of that 22 and to that, to basically halfway between the 22 and the halfway line. Then Jack Walsh breaks out wide. Munster scramble well, but again, it's, Cuthbert gets there and he goes again and gets over in the corner to score. The conversion is missed and we're at 27-17. So Ospreys need another try to get 2 bonus points, losing bonus point and try bonus point out of the game. And it looks like they're going to get it. They break out wide and Haley, though, first of all, he sweeps well and, just hacks the ball clear. But Ospreys continue to apply that pressure. Cameron Jones then breaks the line. He draws the cover and then sends Cuthbert away, expecting, it's just going to be a walk-in for him. But he pulls up, he tears his, he must have torn his hamstring or something within sight of the line. And he can't get there, like he's maybe 4 or 5 meters out. And by the time he's actually pushed into touch, probably just a couple of meters out. But we come back then for an Ospreys penalty. Owen Williams then, all night he's been going right for the corner with his kicks. And this time it's just a little too much. He misses touch. And it kind of sums up the night for Ospreys, really, that get themselves in decent position, but they can't find that, bit of quality at the end. Munster get off the field and it's 27-17 is the full-time score. We'll have a quick look at some of the stats from the game then. Just let me pull them up here if we can find it for a sec. Okay, here we go. Right, so tries first of all, 3 for the Ospreys, 4 for Munster. 2 of them intercepts from O'Brien. And, if we look at the rest of the stats then, possession 62% to 38, Ospreys dominating the ball. Clean breaks then 6-4 for them. Defenders beaten 18-6. Offloads 10-4. So you can see Ospreys, like the stats would say that Ospreys won this game, but, we clearly know that that's not what happened. Onto defence then, territory even more one-sided, 72% to 28, but that Munster defence so amazing. Number of tackles 102 to 186 for Munster. Missed tackles then 6 to 18. Tackle success 94 for Ospreys, pretty decent. Munster with 91%. It's a little lower, but given the amount of the amount of tackles they had to make and the amount of pressure that was put on them, it's a really strong number from them as well. Turnovers 1 then. I think, this is one of the areas where Ospreys kind of fell down. 2 for them and 8 for Munster. Munster getting those crucial turnovers to deny the Ospreys, those decent chances. Then kicks retained. 2 for Ospreys, 4 for Munster's. Penalties conceded, 6 for Ospreys, 11 for Munster. They were talking about in commentary, at one point maybe Munster getting a yellow card for too many penalties, but I felt like there wasn't enough. They weren't close enough to the line, etc., and they were kind of spaced out a bit as well. In terms of then the individual players, successful carries, 7 from Kieran Williams, 4 for Orgy Snyman. I think he offloaded every single one of them out of the tackle. Clean breaks then, 2 for Giles and 2 for Sean O'Brien. His 2 clean breaks were basically his 2 tries. Defenders beaten then, 4 for Jack Walsh, 3 for O'Brien. Meters made, Jack Walsh 56. It's really good, like, to be the top carrier coming off the bench as well. 93 for Sean O'Brien, Munster's top carrier. Offloads then, 3 for Ruben Morgan Morris and 3 for Snyman. So he pretty much did offload almost every single one of his carries. Defence then, Rudolph with 11 tackles. Ospreys hodding it with 20 for Munster. Just a massive shift from him. And, that's like, you look through the rest of the Munster team, a lot of them then are in double figures as well. And it just shows, how much effort they put in to this and how, I think, well deserved the win was. You would look at the stats and say they didn't deserve to win, but you look at the game and you see the effort that went in there and the way that they kind of handled that Ospreys attack and then took the chances so clinically. Absolutely deserved win. Ospreys, though, I think the difference between them and the rest of the Welsh regions is that they can stay in games against top teams more often. We see Cardiff doing it now and again. I know that they gave Glasgow a bit of a game tonight. I won't spoil the score in case you want to watch that. I don't actually know the score, so that's why I won't spoil it, but I do know what the score was at half time. But Ospreys, though, I think that they have a little bit more than the other Welsh regions, and looking at this as well, performance against another team, that performance, especially in the scrum, probably would have been enough to deliver a win for them. And they know, they're talking to commentary as well, they're targeting 4 wins, to the end of the season to try and make that top 8. I think they're going to go close to it. I think they need a little bit more, though, in terms of just being a little more clinical in attack and cutting out some of the errors, and also just being able to finish off those ones. Obviously very unlucky that Cuthbert pulled up for that one, or they would have been in for those 4 tries. So that's how close it was for them. For Munster, amazing defensive effort, really took their chances well. This is an important game for them because they knew that Ospreys, one of the rivals at the moment for them in terms of that finishing in that top 8. They want to cement their place in there first because it's not guaranteed at the minute, and then they want to start looking up the table and see if they can hunt down Edinburgh in 4th place, or wherever it happens to be in 4th place in the next couple of rounds. But that's basically, I think, what Munster want is, as defending champions, they want to go on a run. They did it last year and it got them to the trophy, and they're you would like to see a little bit more from them in terms of being able to hold on to the ball maybe, but the defense certainly looks sound, and it's not a bad thing to come away with a 5 bonus point win and still have plenty to work on as well. So I think Munster, they're going to be happy, but they're going to get better as well.